Hey, free-to-play gang! Welcome back to another video. Now, you guys must be wondering, based on the title itself, how can you build Adrena and is she good for any content whatsoever? And I must say, right off the bat, she is, please don't spread this around, incredibly broken. Don't let the devs know about this. She is busted as heck. So, Adrena is a must-have all the way to R6 for the mere fact that with her, that makes beating content really quite brainless. It's really quite insane. And the ways that you can build her is a lot. There is a lot of different ways that you can build her right now. Or at least there are many different ways that you can build around her as well, which is insane, unthinkable stuff. Anyway, let's get on with it. Now, before I talk about the way that I would recommend you to build her, don't just trust the current build that I'm using on her right now. This is not the ideal build at all, alright? So I'm just building her with a lot of DPS just for a later showcase. But for the most part, there are many other ways that you can build around her, and there are many other ways that are much better than her just current straight up DPS build. Okay, so a couple of things that we need to test out before I talk about her builds. And based on the things that you're about to see over here, that will determine how best she can be built. Okay, so the thing is, let's test out what happens when your allies get Avatar Pro. Or rather, let's just see how her kit works, right? So if we normal attack anyone, right, she's always going to assist with her normal attack, and that gives her a red chili buff. So for example, let's do this again. She's going to get a red chili buff, and she's going to pursue afterwards with an AoE stun. Insane! Actually insane. This is actually so good. But take a look at what happens whenever we counter-attack with one of our other Espers, right? Alright, here comes the counter-attack. And she will not counter-attack. She will not assist after her allies counter-attack. I'm not super sure why this is the case. I'm not sure if this is a bug or not. But for the time being, she will not assist on your allies counter-attack. So counter-attacks, or rather the Avatar set, is not necessarily a good set around her. But for her, this makes a lot of sense. Because whenever she counter-attacks, that is going to automatically give her one stack of the red chili buff, which is part of the reason why I say that the current build that I have on her, which is the War and Fiery set, is not ideal. It's not optimal. Now, secondly, this is quite interesting. This is the interaction between her and Brewster. Now, this is the main one. This is what I was like gunning for from the start, right? But unfortunately, this is not going to be that ideal. So what I'm talking about is, let's say we land an AoE attack over here, right? This is not our basic attack, so she will not assist with her basic attack because we are not using our basic attack. So we're going to use our third skill here. Brewster, on the other hand, is going to assist with his basic attack. That does not push her to use her normal attack. So she will not assist Brewster even though Brewster used his normal attack because he assisted with his reload attack stacks. Essentially, you cannot double assist in this case. I'm not sure why. In other situations, you can have Alice assisting your Xuanpin who is assisting someone else, or like your Pata can go on forever, right? And okay, not really forever, but you can have a really long chain of assist. But that is not the case solely for Adrena, and I'm not sure why. Now, another thing that I want to show you is how she works in tandem with Espers like Alice or Xuanpin. Now, I'm going to use Xuanpin just because she has a 100% assist rate, which is a lot easier for us to do this showcase. So let's say we bring in like a bunch of other Espers here, right? Now, I want you to pay attention to what happens when you use Xuanpin to use her third skill. This will call in one of my allies to assist attack. Hopefully, it's not herself because I want to showcase something. Okay. Yunchuan uses his normal attack there. Yunchuan is even able to pursue with his second skill after using his normal attack, which is wild, right? That thought is wild because in most situations, like in a counter attack, for example, right, Yunchuan will not even use his dog to assist attack to pursue attack. But in this case, Xuanpin calling in Yunchuan to assist attack, that actually follows up with his dog pursuing as well, which is extremely. I have no idea why this is the case. Daddy edit mode. Now, some of you guys might be quick to say that, okay, because Xuanpin normal attacked, that is why Yunchuan is able to pursue afterwards. But you must also understand that when Xuanpin attacked, there were no third eye seal debuffs on that enemy. It is only applied when Yunchuan assisted, which means Yunchuan is essentially using his own second skill to pursue his own assist, which is, it breaks the game. But what you might have also noticed is that she didn't assist at all with her normal attack, which is so weird. It's like you have Yunchuan assisting and pursuing after that, but she does not assist afterwards, which I'm not sure why. Now, the same thing is also true whenever the enemies attack my Xuanpin, I counter attack. That is not going to channel Adrena to use her normal attack as well. So what I'm trying to get at is she's quite restricted in the way that you can make her work. So for the most part, Avatar sets and like other external assist attacks, those are not going to channel her attacks. Now you might be thinking, Daddy, so why did you say that she's broken? Is it because she's bad? Actually, no. Actually, no. She's actually really good. Now, another reason why she is so good is because of the fact that her second skill has a pursuit attack that essentially gives your entire team a perpetual stun. So if you run something like this comp over here with Tia and Adrena, right? So we can actually spam a lot of stuns because of all our pursuit attacks, which is going to come out in just a little bit. So for example, if we use our normal attack like so, that's going to call in her to assist, right? That's going to charge up her red chili. And if you keep on doing that, that's going to charge up more red chili, and now we have an AoE stun afterwards. And of course, you know, more charging up, and now she gains a turn, and you can use her third skill and all that kind of stuff. So the thing is, if you build her with the Tyranny set, she becomes a stun bot, a massive stun bot. Actually, let's take a look at how this works. Alright, now I have her on the Tyranny set. Let's take a look at the difference in her output. It's insane. It's completely dumb. Okay, so we're going to checkmate here. Hopefully coin herself to assist. Oh no, she didn't assist, rip. Okay, so let's continue. Let's try this out. Alright, so we gain a turn because Tia actually pushed us all the way up to the top. So we use our third skill. Hopefully we can Tyranny proc something. We Tyranny proc a couple of stuff. Okay, let's go. Now maybe boss stuns here just to make sure that they are pushed back a little bit more. Okay, here comes the snowball in giving her a lot of assist in, right? So red chili in, maybe another red chili over here. Can we get a stun? Now the good thing about oh my goodness, she just like quadruple stun by the way. Now the good thing about running her with the Tyranny set is that her normal attack double hits. And what we know about double hits is this gives Tyranny a double proc chance, which is insane. So with this current setup, we are actually able to stun lock this entire team, which is wild. It's insane. It's unthinkable how good this is. Oh, now another thing is this. If you're running her with Xuan Pin, do take note that because her AP is always pushed to 0, this means that the horse buff on her actually lasts for an extremely long time. A very long time, because whenever your allies move, she is just going to go back down, and her horse buff is never ever going to go away until she eventually takes a turn, which is like 3 stacks, right? Yeah, as you can see, 3 stacks, and then she instantly gains a turn, and that is 1 horse buff gone. But for the most part, she's able to stay in this form for quite an extensive period, which is really nice in terms of DPS. Now, I know her DPS is not looking so good because, yeah, it's like we are doing like 2k damage, which is like nothing much. But you must also understand that we are up against level 100 enemies, which means their defenses are insanely high, right? They are really high. So you can see that we are not even getting hit. I mean, we did get hit once, but for the most part, we are actually able to stun lock them to infinity and beyond. It is quite insane, and we're only using 3 different Espers here. And I know, yes, we are using Xuan Pin here, but the reason why Xuan Pin is here is not so much about assisting us with the stuns, it's more for just giving her more DPS, which really doesn't even matter in terms of control, right? So if you don't even need to have a Xuan Pin here, you're just going to stun lock all the enemies just because, which is insane. It's super fun. And now final attack here, and okay, we only got 1 single stun rip. Okay, but anyway, I want to show you something else, or at least like a couple of things. Now, one thing I want you to take note of is how her red chili is actually applied. This is just a very minuscule mini-maxing detail, but take a look at the damage that she's dealing, right? Alright, now she's going to assist, and we did 2.4k and 1140. Take note of these two numbers, 2.4k, 1140. Now then, what happens when we are buff blocked? Because this red chili is actually buff blockable because it's a silver rim buff. So what happens? Alright, now take a look at this part here. We did 2411, which is the same damage as the first hit, as in just the previous showcase. But now our second hit actually did less damage. And why is this the case? So the answer to this is essentially, her first hit does not have the effect of red chili. So you will not get your 10% attack bonus and your 10% crit damage bonus on your first hit. But your second hit will actually gain the benefits of the buff afterwards. So your first hit does normal damage, and then you apply the red chili buff, and then afterwards you deal the second hit, which does red chili damage. So what this means is I actually went ahead to test it out even further, and what I found is your first assist would then deal 0 stack and 1 stack chili damage. Your second hit would then deal 1 stack of chili damage and 2 stacks of chili damage, and then your third attack would then deal 2 stacks of chili damage followed by 0 stacks of chili damage. Okay, what I'm trying to get at is, even though we can stack the chili buff to 3, we will actually never ever benefit from 30% attack and 30% crit damage. What I'm talking about is this. So this thing over here, right, red chili, 10% attack, 10% crit damage per stack, maximum 3 stacks, but we will never ever benefit from 30% attack and 30% crit damage. This means that we have on average amongst our 6 different hits within 3 different assist attacks, that is on average a 10% attack and 10% crit damage bonus on each of these attacks. Now, with all of that out of the way, we can finally talk about how we want to build her. So now, clearly, running her with the Tyranny set is probably going to be the best way about like building her, especially if you run her in maybe Infinity Tower content, if you run her in some of those PvE content. And of course, the Avatara set is a lot better on her, but the thing is, if you want to have a little bit more stats, then you can definitely go with the Fiery set. But you may completely just not run her as a DPS. You can just build her as like a supportive controller, so you might want to run her with a lot of accuracy so that she's able to land her stunts. And maybe you don't want to care too much about her crit rate and her crit damage and all that kind of stuff, which is secondary. So she has multiple ways that you want to build her. But I feel like maybe the best way that you can build her is to probably build her the Tyranny set. Now, second question is, should you be building her with attack percentage or HP percentage as a focus? As you can see here, I clearly went with the HP percentage path, and the reason is this. Now take a look at all of her multipliers as well as her base stats. So she has 15,200 HP and she has 874 attack. Now, if we talk about her percentages here, 10% of her base attack would be 87.4. Let's just use her base stats as an example here. So 10% of her attack would be 87.4, and 2% of her max HP would be about 300, right? So you can clearly see that the HP percentage is actually pushing more damage potential than her attack percentage over here. The same goes for her second skill in terms of her pursuit attack. 15% attack versus 3% max HP. The max HP is definitely more impactful. And the same goes for her third skill as well. 15% attack and 4% max HP. So it is very clear, right? Very, very clear that HP is probably like the way to go. Now, you guys might also be sharp and you might also be thinking about why I raised the fact that her Red Chili had an average of 10% attack and 10% crit damage per hit. Now, because of that, we actually have to further increase our attack power by 10% on average, because we are always going to have a few Red Chili stacks at any one time, right? Which means that our attack needs to go up by on average 10%, which then further pushes our base attack to an effective long run average of about 900 plus, right? About 950. But even with this 10% attack increment, I can dare say that the HP scaling is a lot more impactful than her attack scaling. So you do not want her to be built with a lot of attack power. Instead, you want to focus more on HP, which is what I've done over here. Now, the thing is, even though attack doesn't scale very well with her, it also does scale with her, which means all of your stats, right, can be run with HP percentage and attack percentage, and I have not boosted this, I forgot. HP percentage, attack percentage, HP percentage, attack percentage, HP percentage, attack percentage. It is insane the way that you can build her. She has a lot of potential in terms of stats, so if I fully boost everything to +9, it is essentially another 30% of attack and HP all across the board. It is very, very insane. Now, of course, that is not all, right? Because we do know that she assists a lot, and I'm going to show you the best way that you can abuse her right now. Take a look at this. Now, what we have here is probably the craziest setup ever. Let's give a turn to Embla. Take a look at what's going to happen here. We're going to normal attack this guy, give the Corrupted Seed to this enemy over here, and we are instantly going to pop it. Instantly popped it in one single hit. One single hit. Okay, we're not even going to attack this guy because it's a waste. Let's attack this purple guy in the middle, or girl. Yeah, Corrupted Seed. One stack, extra stack, double stack, boom! It's gone. That's it. And what about this? We can use some AoE attacks here. Apply more stacks, boom. It's actually insane. It's actually so quick. Do they know that I'm using a bunch of DPS Espers here? I'm using so many DPS Espers, and we are controlling them like crazy. We are dealing so much damage. Our damage output is off the charts. It's insane. Like, please do not tell anyone about Adrena. She is insane. She's insane with the right setup, obviously. But as you can see here, right, we are just like one tap away from something. So we can just attack this guy. He has 2 stacks. Boom. We are gonna assist one time with Hull. With Hull here. Double attack. Oh, wow. We ran out of stacks. Amazing. Okay, but as you can see, right, this is how insane, you know, you can abuse Adrena. And of course, there's many other ways that you can run her. So like, for example, even if you do not have an Embla at like R6 or even R2, right, you can definitely replace her. And you can just run about anything like I showcased in the TA comp. So essentially, you can just run like 2 men over here, just 2 Espers, and you're able to perpetually control stuff forever, alright? So like, for example, this, boom, AoE stun maybe. Okay, we didn't get any stuns, rip. Okay, wait, but you kind of get the point, right? You kind of get, I hope you get the point at least. Right, get another stack here, maybe an AoE stun. Okay, that's a horrible showcase. Alright, but anyway, what I want to get is she's just really good with the right setup, and especially when you're running it a little bit more manually, but that is not all, I think. So I haven't really tested it out, but I do feel like the relief set is really good for Espers that work with her. So if you have an Ahmed, for example, right, you always want to use your normal attacks, which means your Ahmed is naturally going to benefit from the relief set as well. So there are many ways that you can play around with her right now. But before we end off the video, I want to show you something. So you guys hate Xuan Bin, right? Let me show you a comp without Xuan Bin. Holy shit. What the hell? Wow! Crazy shit, Embla. LOL!